Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back again, back to the shop. Today we got something special. I typically don't do MR videos. I think I did like one or something, but I've been getting a few requests for them, a lot of questions about them. So we got an MR for you today. Beautiful car. This is Hayden's car. It's a 2010, and it does have a Kozmic 10-plate clutch. Really nice looking car. Does have a little bit of mileage on it. Stock everything else with bolt-ons. Just stock pump, FIC 1200 cc's, and he has an intake, stock turbo, and these things. All right, upper and lower intercooler pipe. He has 50/50 blow-up valve, an intake, stock turbo, stock everything else, just injectors, and that's basically it. And the tranny, I think he had an issue with the transmission before, and he had it built. It's the Kozmic 10-plate, so that should be nice. I mean, I would love to see him on a GTX series turbo, but maybe in the future. Was having some fueling issues, but we got the fuel relay changed out. So if you guys haven't done that yet, make sure you upgrade that. They do go bad. Yeah, so we're gonna start tuning this. Let's see what it does. So before we start the dyno process, I just want to take a little bit of time and just answer a few questions that I've been getting. And thank you guys for sending me questions. I will do my best to answer them. So the first question is, where do you get those flex fuel ROMs from? If you watched my other video, how to set up flex fuel, it'll answer your questions and even more, but I'm going to show you where to get it right now. To get your Tephra V3 ROM, all you have to do is just go to Google and type in Tephra V3. And you have two options. You can get it from EvoScan, and you can just put all your information here, get it there, or you can go to Tephra's website and get it from him as well directly. And it is $100. If you want to get the V2, it's it's 50. So question number 2. Hopefully you could help me out with this question. So I just got a flex fuel tune with the kit, and basically he's getting the P071. The tuner tries to help him out with that, and then he gets too lean or too rich, and either or. He's unable to correct it. Every time he fixes one, the other one comes on. So this does happen more often than not, and I'm gonna try to answer why I think it happens, because I'm not looking at the other person's tune. I know why it happens for me, and I'm going to try to give you some solutions for it too. One of the main reasons why it kind of happens is because when you first start up, your ethanol sensor does need a little bit of time to adjust your tune, and that time is sometimes enough just to throw the code. So what I would do first is turn the ignition on, hold cancel button, let the fuel circulate a little bit through the system, maybe for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then try to start the car. You should see your check engine light flashing to the ECU is adjusting. The other reason that might help. The other reason this happens, our flex fuel, these are the maps that we use to interpolate between the different systems. Different ethanol content. But sometimes they're not done correctly, and even when they're done correctly, there is a second set of injector calculations you have to turn on, which is this, and it's pretty well documented and described in my other videos and on Tephra's website. You have to turn these on and replace these injector scalings for the ones that you want. Otherwise, it's not going to interpolate these granulated percentages as well. And those are probably the two main reasons why this happens. Now, obviously, it could be other reasons too. You could have a leak, you could have all this other issues. But I'm saying if everything is correct, these are probably the reasons. And if someone knows better or whatnot, maybe even David, you can chime in and answer this question. Question number 3 for today is from Danny. First, thank you for all your great videos. You're very welcome. Huge fan. He's on an Evo 9 with the 68 dual injector. But the main question is he's on Infinity AEM and he has GTR coils, but he would like to run in sequential instead of wave spark. And he has a plug and play harness. Well, that's kind of easy to do. So your stock, our stock ignition coils are wave spark. What that means is ignition, 2 of the cylinders fire at the same time, one on power stroke, the other one on exhaust. So 1 and 4 goes off at the same time, and 2 and 3 goes off at the same time. That's where you have 2 different connectors, one on the passenger side and one on the driver's side. So it's pretty simple to set it up. Hook it up just the way you would on a wave spark. All you have to do is on your auxiliary port on the AEM Infinity, just connect the signal for coil 3 and 4 respectively onto the auxiliary port of the Infinity. The Infinity itself actually has a wire output and where to put coil number 4 and 3 and 4. And that's all you have to do on the wiring side. On the ECU side, it's very easy. All you have to do is go to Wizard, Setup, and the first option, Engine, under wave spark, change this down to sequential, and you have to choose the right firing order, which I believe is 1342, and then basically just reset the ECU and you're good to go. Alright, so we're gonna do a base run on this with just a fuel injector changes, but all the stock settings to see exactly how much we can get, well, how much difference a clutch would make, because I know normally they make like 260, 270, somewhere around there OEM, but it has slipped. So let's see how much a stock, just putting it on the dyno, how much it would make. So this is basically the stock tune with only these fuel injector scale and no other modifications made. Yeah, so we made like mid 200s to be expected. So I have created a base map before. I'm just going to upload it now and to see what it does just on my base map. And this is my base map that I'm gonna load. At bare minimum, at least it's just smooth out some of the spikes and whatnot. I don't know, on the MRs, for some reason, our dyno pickup, the one for the RPM, fluctuates a lot more than GSRs do. It's probably the placement that we're putting in. What I'm also going to do now is record or log the clutch slips in the Evo scan that we get, and the temperature as well.
I always put it in super sport mode when I do these runs. So that made significantly more. That's just the base. Now I'm gonna look at everything, make sure all the slip areas before I turn everything up. It's running super rich too, so I gotta clear that up as well. Still a lot of rich. There's really not that much slipping.
So right now I'm double checking clutch speed and slip. There really isn't much. I did have a little bit of slip up top, so I'm correcting that. And then upping the boost 2 psi's, adding some timing. Took away a bunch of fuel as well and kind of increased the MyVec to trying to help that rich issue.
You know, as with all, I guess, the stock turbo wastegate setup, the boost drops significantly up top. You know, it's something that if you could remedy that, you'll make good power. And I think the car itself just feels a little better when we do that. So right now I'm not even trying to, you know, make power. I'm just trying to get rid of that unevenness, the roughness that I'm feeling right now, you know, the way the car moves. So I didn't really add any clutch pressure yet. All I did was kind of took away the reduction of the pressure. And now I'm going to add pressure because I am going to up the timing a bit. Let's see how that goes. So once you flash the MRs, the check engine light goes on because of a communication error. I don't know why that happens, but after each flash, you got to clear your DTCs. I drink about a gallon of water. I started drinking a gallon of water. from 9 o'clock to lunch. So I'm always going to the bathroom. I was just looking for the clutch just now.
So we decided to stop here. After speaking to the customer, he really isn't looking for power. It's more on drivability and a little bit of kick. It's not really worth pushing the car to its max. I always like to leave at least 10-20 on the table. And he's running with no knock. Everything seems good. This is a good place to stop. After every tune, I always take it to the street to see its street mannerisms. Especially MRs, the shift needs to be right. I got a few adjustments to make.
I mean, the car, I drove it when he first brought it here. There was some issues with Cobb. He had a Cobb access port. And then I saw his map that he put on. It was not really stock. I think someone tried to tune it. I'm not sure. Right now I'm checking shifts because these cars have the tranny kind of control the fuel and the timing when it shifts too, so it kind of affects it. And I also kind of, because of his atmospheric 50-50 blow-off valve, I just, after a certain point, I just put it on map only. He is going a little bit lean, so I'm gonna have to correct that.
Well, this is the end of this video. There will be more. Please keep your questions coming. I hope I was able to help those who have answered, and if I've made any mistakes, feel free to correct me.
Overall, like the car, it feels night and day difference. I originally had an MR that I wanted to build and do all this stuff, but I ended up having a kid, and because I was so successful and my child was so perfect, I rewarded myself with a C6 Corvette, and then I had to sell it again because I had another child. So such is life. So thank you guys for watching. I've been getting a lot of love on my channel. I hope I'm able to help people, and keep those questions coming. I got a couple of really good questions that I think I'm going to do segmented, like every one of these videos I'll have at the beginning I'll answer questions, and then I'll do the rest of the tuning in video, whatnot. Keep subscribing, and thank you for tuning in.